This video was created to help teachers understand the Google Meet links and how to make sure that you have host controls. Most teachers and students are accessing their Google Meet link via the Google Classroom page. Now, in essence, this is creating a Google Meet meeting code for each of your meetings. If you're to pay attention to the URL at the top of your web address bar, you'll notice that each time you join, even if it's the same class and you're clicking on the same link, you're actually going to a different address each time with that Google Meet. Now, the purpose of the way it's created in the Google Classroom page is that this is a secure link. So if students click on this link at the top of the Google Classroom page, they're actually locked out of it. They can't join until a staff member joins. And notice that I said staff member, I didn't necessarily say the teacher. Any staff member at ISD 721 can click on this link. This link at the top of your Google Classroom page has nothing to do with the roster in that Google Classroom. It's in no way, shape, or form connected to that roster. It's just a place to make sure that you're using a secure link and an easy place for students to find it. Once you click on that link and the staff member opens that room, students can then join. Now, if you have a co-teacher or maybe a paraprofessional that's also working with you, if they have an ISD 721 account and they're the first one to go into that room, they will have the host controls. So it's always the first staff member who opens the link will have the host controls. So if the teacher joins after that, they will not have the host controls for that Google Meet session, which means they won't be able to do breakout rooms. They won't be able to turn off students' ability to share their screen or to close the chat room, anything like that. So what if this happens? Well, if the teacher needs to have those host controls and another staff member opened it up prior to that teacher, what you'll need to do is get everybody out of that Google Meet. And once you close it, you'll notice that, yep, we're still at the same URL here. But if I wait at least a minute, that URL will deactivate. So it's important to wait at least 1 minute, let that URL deactivate, and now the teacher can open this link again at the top of their Google Classroom page. The URL will regenerate and it'll have a new URL, new address. Now that the room is open and they have the host controls, students and the paraprofessional or co-teacher, they'll be able to start joining and the teacher will retain the host controls. Now you might be wondering if I'm let's say an elementary teacher or even a middle school or high school teacher, and you might say, okay, well I know now that I need to join that link at the top of my classroom page. I need to join that early. And if I join it early, I don't want my students joining the class right away. How can I prevent that? So what you can do is when you open up your link early, or you open up your Google Meet early, and let's say it's maybe 15 minutes before class starts. What you can do is you can go down to the blue shield in the lower left-hand corner, and if you click on that, you will get your host controls. One of the things you can do is you can click on Quick Access and turn that off. Once it's turned off so that it's gray, now it basically creates a waiting room. Students and even the paraprofessional will not be able to join this room without you allowing them into the room. So what will happen with that, with the quick access turned off, is you'll start getting a message on top of your screen. You'll start seeing when the first student tries to join, the second student tries to join, and what they're going to see is they're going to see a message that says, wait, you'll have to wait for the host to allow you in to the meeting. Well, once you're kind of ready to start class, you can click View All. That will expand and you'll see all of the students that are waiting to get into your room. You can click either admit them one by one, or you can click Admit All. And once you do that, they will be into the meeting. Now I'm going to go over another scenario here where maybe you're a secondary teacher and you have multiple sections throughout the day, and maybe you do a breakout room in the morning. I guess this could happen with elementary teachers as well too. So maybe you do a breakout room with one group, and then later on you have a different group of students coming into your class. But if you're using the same Google Meet, you're going to find a little problem. So again, let's go back to the example of we've opened up our Google Meet. We have a new URL listed at the top, and you've started it, and that's going really well. You've got the host controls, and you start a breakout room with your first group of students. Well, if you continue to keep this meeting room open, and these students go on to their next class, and then your next set of students come in, if they're using that same link, you're going to find that these students do not disappear, even though they've left the room. So now you've got your second period students here, and you're trying to do breakout rooms, and you can, except you're going to have all of your first period students mixed in with them. They're not actually physically there anymore, but you're going to see all of their icons, and it kind of creates a mess. If you found that and you're wondering what is going on, how do I change this? Well, what you'll need to do, again, you need to, at the end of the class period, close that link or close that Google Meet, and then you're going to wait at least a minute again, and this URL is going to deactivate. And now when you click the link and open it, it actually creates a new URL. And now when your second period students come in, those breakout rooms will have reset, and you'll no longer see your first period students listed in those breakout rooms. This video hopefully gave you a better understanding of how the Google Meet links work with host controls.